Welcome back to Chad Sports Talks NHL update video. In case you don't know, my name's Chad. I'm take dive world sports. If you haven't watched my first part of this video, tournament.com, the bottom dwellers, go ahead and check out the link posted somewhere on this screen, and it'll take you right to there. And this is going to be like your top half of the league, where we're going to talk about and to see kind of where things kind of like I said before, where teams are kind of playing right now and where they're kind of hopefully heading towards, and possibly even look at at the end and some how teams are kind of placed right now. Now we're gonna make our first team, or the first California team on here be the San Jose Sharks, 8-6-1. I didn't really give them a lot of love in picking them, so right now they're kind of towards the bottom end of the Pacific, but still somewhat still striking distance right now for a possible for one of the wild card positions. Like I said, still way early. So, but one thing that's helped San Jose is their penalty kill. They got one of the best in the business. They've only allowed 4 power play goals, so they got almost a 90% kill percentage. So it's kind of hard to do that, and then they put in 2 shorthanded on top of that. So they're dangerous shorthanded. So it's one of these that you really got to keep mindful. So it's pretty much enough to throw off any opponent's power play mojo when you're taking on the Sharks, and they will quickly to pounce to even possibly score. So gonna see how things kind of go with them. Next is Vegas. This is a team I think a lot of people have kind of penciled in to be the Stanley Cup champions. And right now they're only 9-7. A spat of injuries this season has forced Vegas to do more with less. This includes locking up how it is locking up in tight games. But they're perfect right now in 1-goal games. They're 4-0 with that. So, and they kind of do that, but you got to keep trying to maintain health to be more effective. So maybe get your injuries out of the way first. Then you start playing good hockey afterwards. Possibly, I remember they got Eichel now, who's went to go do surgery, so he's going to be out for a while. So you could come back in time for that postseason run. So time will tell how Vegas is going to respond. Next is the Colorado Avalanche. This is the team I've been jumping off the past 2 years, and they've disappointed me every time I picked them to win the cup. That's why I didn't do it this year. Right now they're 6-5-1, so they're not doing what they want to go. Colorado was doing well, and then the injury bug hit them as well. We had Kale Maker get hurt, as well as Nathan McKinnon, one of their prime stars, also go down with injury. Doesn't really help you much. So it's you need that the other players of that team to really step up to kind of take place and show that we're not just McKinnon franchise. This is the Avalanche. We do as a team. So right now Nazem Kadiri is getting hot right now. Yeah, right now it's 10 points past 6 games. Gabriel Landeskog and Mikko Rantanen are healthy and rolling along, doing what they had to do, contributing with the Avalanche. And Bowen Bryan continues to blossom on the blue line for the Avs. Skated with Maker or not, I mean, he's doing what he has to do. So they're trending in the right direction. So you'll see once they get their McKinnon back, I'm sure this team's going to leap forward, tenfold. Then the New York Rangers, right now, who are sitting 10-3-3 on the season, so they're doing quite well. Of course, they have Panarin back there, the old Blackhawk staple. But right now, I think their defensive core kind of needs a little boost. Igor Sechenetskin, they've relied on him way too many times to really bail him out. But it's just key goalkeeping and key scoring is keeping them in there, because right now, the goal differential is 0. So they've just been lucky in a lot of games, and think it could bite them in the long run. But if they can tighten up defense or really, really ensure that they got these games kind of in the right direction, who knows? Anyways, next is the LA Kings. This is a team that some experts I kind of predicted could be extremely good this year, or sneakily good, as some have put it, and make the playoffs. And currently, they're sitting, right in the middle of that Pacific Division, 8-5-2. But the thing is, LA has not made the playoffs. Or they made the playoffs twice since the last winning Stanley Cup back in 2014, and went out the first round both times. So they're trying to get back there and try to shake off that bug and get back to that winning form when they won 2 cups in 3 years. They didn't start that well to start off the season. Went 5-1, but they haven't lost in regulation since. 7-0-1 since that time frame, and it's just one of these things where they've only given up more 2 goals once the entire season. So when that past 8-game stretch, should I say, they've only coughed up more 2 goals one time, and they've outscored everyone 26-14 during that stretch. So they're definitely a volatile team right now. Their power play still needs a little bit more assistance. They've given the most shorthanded goals of any team this season. They've coughed up 4 of those. So they got to be a little bit more defensive minded sometimes in the power plays, and don't cough up those chances. Now, my Stanley Cup pick, the Boston Bruins. They're right now 8-5, right in the middle of the Atlantic. But Boston is one of these teams that just kind of mingers along, keeps buzzing along, just doing what it has to do. Just right now, Boston is one of the best face-off teams in the league, winning almost 55% of the face-offs. They have good depth on draws. 8 players are also 500 or 50%. And they're also one of the best possession teams at 54%. So it's just one, try and control from the open puck drop, try and maintain possession of it. They just got to win more games, and it's just a matter of time. They're just about to hit those strides and see how things kind of go from there. And next we talk about their arch rival, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Right now 11-5-1. Once again, there's hope in Toronto that the curse will be broken, or their drought will be broken, and they can finally lift the Stanley Cup. Because you have Austin Matthews, star American out of Scottsdale, Arizona, William Nylander, John Tavares, and Mitchell Marner are your big players right there in Toronto that are supposed to carry this team and win it. They do great during the regular season, just not the postseason thus far. Just hopefully this year could be different. Scored 22 goals this month alone. The 16 of which came from a star forward that I've previously mentioned. Combined for 8 goals through 9 games in October. So right now the Leafs are doing the Stars and the Leafs are doing what they need to do, and they're flying high. They've been 6-1 since November 1st. And they're right now a very, very powerful team to kind of watch out. All right, next we'll talk about the Minnesota Wild. Right now they're 10-5 and second in the Central. The Wild seem to relish being the underdog because getting down in games seems to agree with them more than most. So they definitely one of these teams that loves to come back. They have 7 come from behind wins this season. And they have the second most wins after trailing first, and one of the best winning percentages when trailing first. So it's they want that adversity. They want to, they don't want to score first. They want to let you score first, so that way they can just come around and smack you right in the mouth. But sooner or later that could bite them. So they might want to watch out for that one. Next is the a surprise Anaheim Ducks. Right now they're 10-4-3, sitting on top of the Pacific. I didn't think be this good, but they have really came on. Right now, the entire Pacific Division kind of heated up in this month of November, and Anaheim has been the leading factor, leading the wedge. Because losing the first seven, their first 9 games was, I guess left a bad taste in their mouth. But something switched. They've won, 6 straight. They're pretty much perfect this month in November so far. They're 4th in the league in scoring, a little over 3.5 goals a game. 4th on the power play, a little over 28% of the time. And Troy Terry has been sensational as a league-high 15-game scoring streak, where he had 21 points in that time frame. And then with Terry performing, and then his line mate, Ryan Getzlaf, has matched the same point total for 40 games a season ago through 16 games this season. So, 1 goal, 16 assists. So he's been feeding Terry, and they've both been celebrating. We'll see how Anaheim continues on the rest of the year. Next, the Calgary Flames. Right now they're 8-3-5, 3rd in the Pacific Division. Moving the puck against Calgary is hard. Daryl Sutter's designed it that way. They designed it to make it harder for offensive teams to get into that Calgary ice and get successfully to score. So the Flames, they're one of the best forecheckers. They turn the puck loose in the neutral zone, force teams back. And then it just helps Calgary to post the 2nd fewest goals against per game in a little over 2 games. The 5th fewest shots per game at almost 29. And then Johnny Gaudreau, Elias Lindheim, and Andrew Mangiapane are just busy lighting the lamp for the Flames. So they're winning by defense, and they're getting the key scores that they need to. So Calgary's definitely going to be one of those hard teams to kind of take out during the season, and just see how they keep this up. And then the two-time Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. So right now they're 3rd in the Atlantic with an 8-3-3 record, and it's not really much, It's hard to go back-to-back nowadays in any sports league because of how the leagues are set up, trying to make each team somewhat competitive. So it's kind of hard for teams to go back-to-back champions. Tampa Bay's done that. Now we're going to try and make it a three-peat, which we haven't seen one of those in some time. But they're trying the darnest because they're doing what they have to do. Right now it's kind of early in the season, so they haven't really looked, pristine. But you don't expect that right up from the get-go. But they're right there. What they need to do, I think they weren't the top seed last year either, and they made that amazing run. So I think for Tampa Bay, they just got to do what they do. Win more games than lose. Get their right performance out of their players, and just play smart hockey, and they'll find themselves in postseason once again and make another dangerous run. Then you have the Washington Capitals. They're sitting there 2nd in the Metropolitan at 9-2-5, led by the old man himself, Alex Ovechkin, who's just wanting to rewrite history, basically. And he recently just passed Brett Hull to take 4th on the all-time NHL scoring list with 742 goals, and he's averaging nearly 2 points per game so far. So he's pretty much the focal point of that Capitals offense. And I don't think it'll be long before he moves to the goes past Yarmer Yager's 766 to take third. So he's just trying to do his part to try to put his name on the record books. I mean, maybe he could get past Wayne Gretzky, maybe not, but he is definitely the focal point of Washington and a reason for their success. The St. Louis Blues team has kind of been hit and miss these past couple seasons after winning their cup. Right now they're 8-5-2, right in the middle of that Central Division. But it's just a very good organization that has a ravenous fan base behind them. You push them, they push back. That's just part of the old black and blue setup from the old school hockey of the old Norris division as well. Pretty much what you consider like a blue collar team. They just do their thing. Like I said, they will do what they need to do. And it's pretty much one of these teams. Once again, it's by committee. No true player really excels every game. I mean, there was some discussion about Vladimir Tarasenko being traded out. Maybe that's kind of hampered them a little bit, but he's still with them, still performing, still contributing. Same thing, Jordan Kyrou and Robert Thomas. And then your netminder, Jordan Binnington. If you keep his little attitude in check, he does get a little ornery. Remember watching him down San Antonio when, San Antonio had the AHL franchise, the Rampage, and he was there. So he can tussle with some of the best players, but, we'll see how that one kind of goes. All right, next is the Florida Panthers. Right now, this team is still buzzing. They're sitting on top of the Atlantic at 11-2-3. As I mentioned earlier, Quenneville had to resign due to actions the Blackhawks did back in 2014. But they played very, very well. And they love their home ice. When they're home, they're undefeated. They're 7-0. So it's, you don't want to go down there to Broward County to take on the Panthers because it's not going to end well for you. The Panthers defend their den very, very well, and they've outscored their opponents 33-16. So you're going to get there, you're going to get spanked. But it's just one of these things, can that intensity continue? Will not having Coach Q affect them at all? I don't think so. I think this team is actually very well built, very well coached. So it's just a matter of time for them to go the right direction and start, applying that success in the postseason. Next is the Carolina Hurricanes. They're sitting top in the Metropolitan at 12-2. This is a very, very well coached team, very well organized team. It's just, everything's in large parts Frederick Anderson and a strong defensive core the Hurricanes have. They've averaged the third fewest shots against and almost 28 shots a game. Henderson's 9-2-0 with almost 94% save percentage, over 1 3/4 goals per game that he allows. So he's the main reason why this franchise is doing extremely well. He's locked down the net. But the rest of the team, rest of those key players are doing what they need to do to perform, and they're just continuing on what they did last season. Last season, they were one of the tough, best teams in the league. They just couldn't really take it to the next level. And then it leaves us with the Edmonton Oilers. So right now they're 11-4, but when you got Connor McDavid on your team, you're going to be high on anyone's radar. And they got not only him, but Leon Draisaitl combined for 50 points. I mean, that's just absurd that these two players have scored that many points. McDavid's just one of these players that could single-handedly destroy a defense to score. And then Draisaitl has, league high 5 game-winning goals. So if you don't, focus on McDavid. Now you can worry about the other guy lighting up the lamp and losing you the game. But right now they're very, very, very good, and just try and get themselves in there. I mean, right now you look at the standings. I mean, it's still early in the season. I understand that, so I'm not going to put too much into this. But the East is a beast. I think right now 3 teams are looking kind of out, but I expect one of them to make a surge later on. Montreal and Ottawa right now are just not performing very well. The Islanders are underperforming, but like I said, they play in that Metropolitan Division, and all 8 teams could, I could see winning. And you look at West, it's a pretty tight ship. The Ducks right now are leading the Western Conference, but teams like Arizona, Chicago, right now Vancouver and Seattle are all kind of, Colorado, are all kind of outside looking in, but I expect Colorado to make a run later on. So I think the same thing from Vancouver. Chicago could surprise people, start winning again. Like I said, they won 3 in a row, so it's only a matter of time. But, Anaheim right now is the top dog out west. And for the top dog out east, right now it's still Florida. And they get that 1-point edge over Carolina. Well, it's still early in the season, so lots of hockey still left to play to determine who's going to be sitting on top and making those, if you get into the Stanley Cup playoffs, it's anyone's game, basically. That's proven year in, year out. Well, that's the conclusion of my 2-part update for the NHL. Like I said, hopefully as the season progresses, these videos don't get so long. I don't have to do two-part videos. As, teams start to really push themselves, and some teams definitely going to be on the top of the pack, and some are just, going for the lottery. Same thing at the, the number 1 pick. But hopefully, like I said, hopefully the season, I can shorten these videos out. So just let me know what you think. Who you think right now is your favorite right now to win the Cup? Right now, still got everything on Boston. That's who I picked in the beginning of the season, and they're doing what they need to do right now to put themselves in that position. But who knows? I mean, it's too early to tell right now, but who's your favorite for the Stanley Cup? Which team you really hope to really, do extremely well? Just leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. While you're there, go ahead and smash that thumbs up for me. Give me a like, especially if you like this content. Also, you can subscribe. Once you subscribe, you hit that bell notification. Let you know next time I post a video. And I'll see you next time on Chat Sports Talk.